In this land, you really want to take part in a Western. The smell of burnt land, all sorts of thorns, the whole atmosphere of this country of harsh, manly guys who shoot right and left at every trifle from their colts and have shootings in saloons in their free time. I really hope to meet them a bit later. But for now, I'll start to soak in the wind of the plains, this vast expanse, and above all, we will see the Mustang. But you can't reach them in a Mustang, so I had to change the car. I'm in the National Park Wild Horse Sanctuary. Over 700 wild horses inhabit this area. Nobody knows the exact number, but I can see that there are many here. Only a part of the big herd that lived here almost hundreds of years ago in the prairies of Central America. Too bad I haven't brought any bread. I really want to give them a treat. But then you immediately realize, no, it's not some obedient horse from a Russian collective farm, and not even a proud trotter from the stables of an Arab sheik. No sooner I decided to play a staring contest with the horses that they left. No, it's not the way to go. I need to reach out to them myself, and while I'm walking, I'll try to remember why these horses have become so mistrustful. It's actually an amazing story. At first, there were no horses in America. Just imagine, there were no draft animals. People carried everything themselves. But then, in the 16th century, the Spanish conquistadors arrived to this continent, and then the people from England joined in. And they all brought horses with them. And while they were distracted, settling, gold panning, having wars with neighbors, taking the land from aboriginals, the horses ran away and nobody had time to go search for them. Those were harsh times, and the land was rich. So these runaway horses didn't starve. They organized into herds, reproduced, grew wild, and no longer wanted to return to humans. I'm trying to establish contact with wild, unbridled animals. Obviously, establishing contact with Mustangs is like establishing contact with aliens. It takes time. But I came with food. And nobody ever says no to something yummy. Wow, what was that? Horses are herd animals. In the wild, every herd has its structure, its hierarchy, which allows a horse community to live by the rules, if not peacefully. Under their rules, the experienced horses are there, further away, in the center of their territory. It's better not to approach little ones, as I can see several young fowls, and their parents might react unpredictably if they see a stranger. Actually, people are not allowed to come here. They made an exception for us. As I behave in a correct way, make no sudden movements, don't approach the Mustangs from behind, it seems that I've managed to gain their trust. Oh, I'm happy. You are used to people speaking to you in English, right? And here comes a guy from Russia who starts speaking to you in Russian. The strengthening of friendship between a human and a Mustang have gone so well that I ambitiously decided to interact not only with teenagers fooling around with trustful Native American ponies, I wanted grown Mustangs, stallions. They are responsible for the safety of mares and young ones. They are very hard to approach. You need to maintain some kind of ritual. And I know one trick on how to attract a horse's attention. They've stopped. They are not leaving. There are 3 more coming. It seems that I've overrated my diplomatic abilities. These guys don't seem friendly at all. If someone still doesn't get it, I'll translate. Hey dude, what do you want here on our ranch? That's what they are telling me. There. So it's better to slowly go back from them. I can see an unfriendly look coming from them. To be honest, it's a bit scary. I always keep in mind that they are wild animals. And if they decide that I threaten them, they'll beat me with hooves without thinking. I'm a stranger to them, but I think they are giving me a chance. How beautiful you are. The wild Mustang. It's fantastic. Just fantastic. Just think of that. They believe me. There is another trick here. We are not far from a river, and as you know, it is not customary to find at a drinking place. Animals are nobler than humans in this regard. That's why I can follow these macho horses to the water. Well, cautiously. The main thing is not to step on a snake. There are lots of pit vipers. Wow. It's unbelievably cool. We've entered their lands. I think we are the first Russian people to observe Mustangs here in their natural habitat. Here, where no one approaches them. Here, they are kings. Well, we are in a true kingdom of wild and free owners of prairies, Mustangs. Here in South Dakota, there is a happy area where horses do not serve humans, but the other way around. A human protects horses' right for idle life, and I'm dying to meet this man. Dayton O'Hyde is 90 years old, and he is the founder of the Wild Horse Sanctuary, the Mustang Reserve where I currently am. And he has also written several books about Mustangs and nature. He is a true Wild West legend. Mr. Hyde, why did you decide to work with Mustangs?
The Mustangs needed help. I grew up with Mustangs on my ranch in Oregon, and I was getting old enough to retire, so I decided that this was a good place to retire to. The governor of the state of South Dakota flew me around here in a helicopter and told me about this beautiful piece of land that needed saving, and I've always been interested in keeping land from being...
I've heard the Native Americans consider you almost a saint and have given you a special Native American name. What does it mean? And
when I came here, there was a lot of graffiti, a lot of damage done to native writings. And having grown up on a reservation in Oregon, I felt deeply that these wonderful things shouldn't be destroyed by people. So I grew interested in that, and I invited the Indians in to have their annual Sundance here, and got to know them, and got to know the chief, who was very helpful in deciding how we could best make this.
That's how Dayton O'Hyde not only protects animals, but also people and the environment. He is actually saving the earth alone. Do you understand now where this American image of a superhero comes from? From such calm, self-confident cowboys who are not afraid of dangers. It's no accident I was asking the old cowboy all these questions. I have great plans, namely, to try and become a cowboy myself. And for now, I'll drink some tea to calm the emotions and make an entry into my diary. Today has been a delight. First of all, I've seen Mustangs in a real wild prairie. I seen them with my very own eyes as they were frisking in the countryside. I've met the oldest American cowboy. He is a legend, and he signed my book. We had an interesting talk. You've seen it all. In a word, the day was a delight. I hope it will be even cooler tomorrow. I usually set myself a task for the day, and today the task is as follows. I need to dress like a cowboy. I need to have the main cowboy attributes: high boots, jeans, belt with a buckle, and of course, a real cowboy hat.
Morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hi, Bird. I need hat. Just hat. Real cowboy hat.
Oh, any idea of what style you're after? Or you want just a basic common hat or?
Basic.
Okay.
Basic cowboy hat.
I've just listened to a whole lecture on traditional cowboy headwear. All this diversity is not the final product. Those are standard models, but every hat will be tailored for each customer.
This is going to be your buckaroo style, more of your older style. This, of course, is going to be your common, just modern day cattleman crown, 4-inch brim.
It's style Indiana Jones.
There you go. That's the old Indiana Jones style, kind of the standard fallback when you get
Standard
to buying.
fallback.
Actually, that's more of a dress style. When I say Butch Cassidy, he had the old Wild Bunch, they were called, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And there was a big famous picture of them, and they were actually all wearing the derbies and stuff like that, bowlers. You've got your basic fedora style, kind of a gangster style, they called it.
Some of our guys from Russia would love it, gangster style.
Al Capone, stuff like that.
Who could have thought that there are so many little details in hats? Choosing a model is only half of the difficulty, but a hat is not just a cinema image, it's something practical. The inventor of such hats, Stetson, spent his entire life improving their quality for cowboys to have a multifunctional headwear that would serve them for a lifetime. Under the rain, in the heat, under the snow, to blow on the fire, and even to scoop some water. A real cowboy hat can do anything. That's why the guys in Westerns look so harshly when a bullet goes through their hat.
You got a lot of different colors, qualities, brim widths. This is the big standard 5-inch brim, where that's a 4-inch brim. Takes a pretty big guy to wear something like that and pull it off.
Yeah, different quality, different thickness.
The qualities, as you start going up in quality, I start at just a basic 5X hat. My 5X is about 5% beaver pelt, the rest is going to be a rabbit fur. The 3 basic materials that they use on hats are rabbit fur, beaver pelt, and wool. Your wool hats are typically 2X, 3X. They're real fuzzy, thick, heavy. Don't hold up real well. You start getting them wet, weathered, they fall apart pretty fast. Like I said, my 5X is going to be about 5% beaver pelt, the rest is going to be a rabbit fur. My 7X is going to be about 20% beaver, the rest is rabbit fur. Starts getting a little smoother, a little thinner, finer finish. 10X is going to be a 50% beaver hat, and then of course the 20X is a pure beaver.
Listen, I've never thought, look how smooth it is, how well made, that it's such a complicated technology to make it all. Oh my God. With Brad's help, I've finally chosen a hat, not to feel embarrassed at a rodeo. And I've realized that the number of these X's is not just proportional to price, it's some geometrical progression. If only you knew how much it costs. I have a good quality hat, expensive as a plane's wing, which means it will be tailored to my taste. It will be steamed. They'll change the crown's form to fit my head and curve the brims according to my wishes. Brad Montague, both the owner of the shop and hat producer. That's why he turns templates into real works of art. The process takes time, and I found out that Brad himself is a cowboy, and so are his children. But, you know, it's the only way in these places. But the greatest thing is that Brad has invited me to come watch his kids training tonight. Shopping has exhausted me a bit, to be truthful. I also had to buy a lasso, belt, gloves, and of course, high boots. Now, I can go and see what a real rodeo looks like.
Girls, be ready. This is our final saddle, or we might have one more. Ladies and gentlemen, pay our cowboy off. Tough luck for a good cowboy. We're going to go to J.D. Anderson, Rapid City.
What a selection process. What did I tell you about taking part in a rodeo? Forget about it. To do it, one has to be born here and start riding before walking. And still, as you can see, to stay in the saddle on this bucking horse isn't possible the way I see it. And you have to stay in the saddle for 8 seconds. It seems like eternity. By the way, I know now why the horse is jumping and bucking. It's not because it has such a bad temper or it's so wild. The truth is sad. Can you see the belt across the chest? Before opening a stall, the assistant pulls this belt and it pushes on a sensitive spot. The poor animal starts jumping in pain trying to get rid of it, and the task of a cowboy is to stay in the saddle during this jumping. There are several events in rodeo: bull riding, saddle bronco, and bareback bronco riding, calf roping, steer wrestling, barrel racing, and something like our Cossack riding. But it's not just for fun. Cowboys show the skills they need in their work, so I don't know whether it can be called a sport, but it's definitely a manly and dangerous activity. I won't be able to do what the participants did, to be sure, but my new friend Brad, you remember the guy I bought the hat from, is already waiting for me, and he promised to give me a chance to become a real cowboy. And here he is with his children and horses.
What's name?
This one's Katie.
Katie?
Kid.
Kitty,
You gotta
kid?
watch her though. She's a little sketchy.
Sketchy? Wow, what a beautiful.
If you look at her eyes, they're a lot
Yeah.
bigger, brighter, wide-eyed.
The kids finished their training, and I realized that it was now my turn. But will I ride a horse or a goat?
Of course.
Of course, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Нет,
A Moscow dandy. Moscow dandy at a rodeo. White socks, cowboy boots. If the real cowboys see it, they'll kill me for such clothing.
So basically, you'll take him down and you'll hook him to a stake that's in the arena, and then you'll just hold him and make sure that this is all nice and stretched out. And then I'll come down on the horse and I'll get off and I'll tie him. That's basically it. And you let go of him when I come
Show
in.
me that.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
До свидания.
See you. My adventures begin.
Kate, go down there and check if there's a stake or if we need to grab ours.
Listen, I understand now. It's like I've entered the first year at a cowboy school, and I need to do 10 years of education in 20 minutes. Let's go, goat. Don't be afraid.
You're gonna hold him, if you want, you hold him kind of like this.
Hold him? Okay.
Yeah. And then when I start coming, you let go and you back up.
Отлично.
Yeah, excellent. This is the work for me.
Turn around, I'll start trotting down you. And we'll start.
And even the simplest task, the task for a cowboy in swaddling clothes, is difficult for me. The goat doesn't trust me either, but I've managed to convince it. My American rodeo. We all start small. And now I'm horribly jealous. I cannot imagine riding at such a speed. How can they not be afraid jumping at full speed to tie up this poor goat? They are real cowboys. Little, serious, and very responsible cowboys. True children of the prairies.
Can you show me how you do it? Так, first of all, I can.
I'm on this side of him.
Yeah. And I should tie with your left hand.
Show me, please.
Better show me. Kids are teaching me. A nightmare. I'm almost 40 and the kids are teaching me, okay?
You take this.
You grab right
Red.
here,
Yes,
right here.
teach me. Cool.
You grab right here. Pull up.
Pull up.
To the
Oh,
legs.
you're so strong, man.
Maybe flip it.
First.
Come out.
Listen, it's so obedient. You know, a goat for training?
This one
Yeah.
and
Think
this
of
one.
that one. And go down once, twice.
Two.
Put your hand in.
Hand.
Oh, you missed your half hitch. You hit one instead of two.
I've muddled through with the help of the whole family, exhausting the poor animal, and cope with the first cowboy task. Hobbling a goat.
Time is over. Тренировочная.
The training goat, and I am the training clown. It's our American destiny. Maybe if I were born here alongside these beautiful horses, alongside these manly and resilient people, I would also be able to do it all. I haven't become a cowboy in one day, unfortunately. And even the girl can easily beat me. The strong, growing man. It's time to go back. I'm hungry. The main thing is not to forget about the diary. Today has brought loads of emotions of all sorts. First of all, rodeo. Rodeo is always impressive, especially if you are there for the first time. Will I be able to do something like that? To be honest, I'm not sure. I should mount a horse to start with, but now I have a real cowboy hat, which I haven't worn. It's ceremonial. Boots and all the accessories. And my dear friends, of course, I'm afraid because being a cowboy is difficult and very dangerous. And for now, the day is coming to its end, and I'll eat a real American burger in front of your eyes. Soon, I will be meeting a specialist who hammers horses out for a living.
Like 5 of them left on the planet, from what I understand. There's not very many white.
I'll go to a scrap collecting point.
Free of charge or not? Yeah, free of charge. Ah, free.
And my new job, I'll become a real cowboy. I've never thought that working outside on a horse with cows can be enjoyable. They say it's easy to become a cowboy, and I'll prove them wrong. Come on, animal. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh my God.